Well, very good morning, guys. Yeah. Last class, we're just talking on loading of multiple tables into the data set, right? Sorry, into the data reader. We have seen two tables loaded in the data reader, and we have bound the two tables to two grid view controls, right? The view control simply shown as a table. I did not write any logic. I just loaded the data, bound the table to the grid view. Just two lines of code. What's it? Grid view one dot data source is equals to data reader, grid view one dot data byte. So a drop down list and all, we require to write two more extra lines of coding. What is the text field and what is the value field? Yeah, nothing required because it shows all the columns. So you don't require to specify anything. Straight away you bind it and all the values come and show for you on the grid view control. Okay. So, and in this process, I shown you how to load multiple tables also. Two things I explained you, loading up multiple tables. Second one, how to use grid view control, how to use a grid view control in our applications. Okay, this is what we saw. Actually, we are using the data reader control, the data reader class. I'm sorry, we're using the data reader class for presenting the data. For holding the data. We are using the data reader class for holding the data, correct? All the data came into the data reader only for holding the data. We did not talk anything about the data reader. I only said you data reader can hold you the data in a table format. And to navigate or to access the data, we are provided with a set of members in the class. Using them, we have seen how to access the data content now. Okay, read method, get name, get value, next result, all these things I just demonstrated. But I want to tell you some few things about the data reader. What is it? Data reader has some features in it and some drawbacks in it. Let's try to understand about them. Like what are the features of the data reader? And at the same time, what are the drawbacks of the data reader? First, let us start with the features. When you talk about the features of a data reader, the first important feature of a data reader is it provides you a very faster access to data. It provides you a very faster access to data. When you're accessing the data by using a data reader, it's very faster. When you're accessing the data through a data reader, it's very faster because it will keep a connection open and will be loading you all the appropriate information. It's a very faster access to data. That's one of the great features of a data reader. Second thing, I shown you already in the yesterday class. It is capable of holding multiple tables. It is capable of holding multiple tables. You can store multiple tables also in a data reader. First one, faster access. Second one, holding of multiple tables. These are the two things what we just have. Are you getting me or not? Okay. So these are the two features. What is it? The first feature is holding faster access. Second feature is holding multiple tables. Understood or not? Okay. The second feature is holding multiple tables. These are the two features what you have inside of your data reader. Okay. So if you just understand this particular thing right now, talking about this data reader, talking about this particular data reader, as I said you, there are the two features what we have. These are the two features what we have. Okay. Now, let me tell you like the drawbacks also. Let me tell you the drawbacks also. What are the drawbacks of a data reader? What are the drawbacks of a data reader? When you talk about the drawbacks of the data reader, the data reader class basically has three drawbacks in it. The data reader class basically have three drawbacks in it. In spite of the features, it has three drawbacks basically. What are the drawbacks? What are the drawbacks? The drawbacks are like, first drawback, it works in a connection-oriented architecture. It works in a connection-oriented architecture. Okay. Now, because it is going to work in a connection-oriented architecture, what is the problem, when you're loading or holding the data, you need to keep the connection open always. If the connection is closed, it cannot hold the data. Okay, so that is the biggest problem what you have with the data reader. What is it? If the connection is closed, it cannot hold the data. Am I clear? It is not capable of holding the data if the connection is closed. What is the problem here? State management will not be possible. Did you understand me or not? What is the problem? State management will not be possible. It's not possible for state management actually. Okay, say, remember state management now. I want to store the data of a data reader in a session. I want to use in my next request now. Not possible. Once the application closes, see, once the response comes to the browser, everything is destroyed on the server now. So DataReader cannot hold the data once the connection is closed. Why? When everything is destroyed, connection object also will be destroyed. If connection object is destroyed, DataReader cannot hold the data now. Understood? That's the first drawback. The second drawback, it provides you forward only navigation to the data. It provides you forward only navigation to the data. What is that? Remember, I said you read method takes to next record. I said you next result takes to next table. But I did not tell you anything that will take you to previous table or a previous record now. Did you understand me or not? So basically, we call this as a forward only behavior. It provides you only forward only access to the data. Understood me? What is it? It provides you only forward only access to data, which can take you to next record or next table, next record or next table, but cannot take you to the previous record or cannot take you to the previous table. That's what we call forward only. Right. Third drawback. What is the third drawback? The third drawback is it is read only. It is read only, means we can get the data, but we cannot set the data. Setting of the data is not possible. What you can do is only get the data. Are you clearer or not? What you can do is only get the data, but you cannot set the data. I cannot modify data reader now. Clear? What are the two advantages? Faster access. Second one, loading of the multiple tables. And there are three drawbacks. What are the three drawbacks? First one, state management is not possible because it is connection oriented. Second one, provides you forward only access to data. Third one, read only access. Forward only access, read only access. And because of all these drawbacks, in spite we are using it also, these particular problems will be coming across it. Actually, ADO.NET provides you two different architectures. ADO.NET provides you two different architectures for data source communication. What are the two different architectures? The two different architectures are like, one is the connection oriented architecture, and the second one is like the disconnected architecture. What is the first one? Connection oriented architecture. Second one, disconnected architecture. What is connection oriented architecture? Connection oriented architecture means in this architecture, you're required to keep the connection open. You're required to keep the connection open for accessing the data. If connection closed, you can't access the data anymore. And disconnected architecture means you don't require to keep the connection open, guys. You don't require to keep the connection open. How you know? Open the connection, load the data, close the connection. Open the connection, load the data, close the connection. Now you can have the data accessible to you. Even connection closed also, you can access it. That's called as disconnected architecture. Simple man. Connection-oriented architecture means it is like taking your bath under a shower. It is like taking your bath under a shower. If the shower stops, your bath will become incomplete now. Yes or not? But the disconnected architecture will be like filling a bucket of water and then start your bath. What is that? You put your bucket under the tap, open the tap, fill the bucket, close it and start bathing. Right? Now see, the water is in the bucket, you are using that water. The connection, the pipe is not running now. But what about the shower? It should continuously run now. If the shower stops, your bath becomes incomplete now. Hope you guys are clear. That is the difference between a connection-oriented architecture, disconnected architecture. Until now, we are working on connection-oriented architecture. And in connection-oriented architecture, what we use? DataReader for holding the data. Same way, we have a second architecture called disconnected architecture. In disconnected architecture, what we use, data set here. We learned it already. And you put bank traces. You learned about data set already, na? One day from XML, I loaded the data into the data set, and the data set I bound to all your list controls. That's an example I shown you already. So when you're working with the disconnected architecture, when you're working with the disconnected architecture, okay, I repeat, when you're working with the disconnected architecture, we use data sets for holding the data. If you're working in connection oriented architecture, you use data readers for holding the data. Is it clear, all of you? Okay, so that's what. Have a look, guys. Read that. Just excuse me. Keep reading. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Keep reading it, please. Sorry, guys. Yeah. So this is what. So what I'm telling you, we are just trying to. Yeah, these are the two features we have, and these are the two drawbacks we have. And then what I said to you is, as a replacement for DataReader, we'll go for using a data set now. It is also a class present under, capable of holding data in the form of table, just like a data reader. It can hold you the data between this, like a data reader. Are you clear? Okay, it is going to hold you the data just like a data reader actually. Now let us understand the differences between data reader and data set. First difference, data reader works in connection oriented architecture. Data set works in disconnected architecture. So the state management is not possible with the data reader here, but state management is possible with the data set. You can store the data set in a session and use it in the next request, but you cannot store a data reader in a session and use in the next request. Are you clear? Okay, so watch it. Data readers work in connection oriented architecture, whereas data set works in, that is, to hold data in a data reader, we need to keep the connection open. Whereas in case of data set, even after closing the connection also, data will be persisting. Data will be persisting. So state management is possible. Clear? Second drawback, second difference. Data readers provide forward-only access to the data, whereas a data sets provide scrollable navigation to data, which allows us to move in any direction, either top to bottom, bottom to top. Means you can go to next record, next table, previous record, previous table. But data reader supports only next record, next table. Data set supports your next record, next table, previous record, previous table. Scrollable. Third, I said you, data readers are non-updatable, read-only, whereas the data sets are updatable. That is, changes can be made to data present in data set, and finally those changes can be sent back to database for saving. You can make changes in the data set here, and you can save the changes to the database also. To and fro communication is possible. Data reader supports only one way, but data set supports two ways. Next. Data reader and data set can hold multiple tables. Right? Data set also can hold multiple tables, man. But what is the difference, In data reader, I'm loading multiple tables, and all these tables should be loaded from the same database. From the same. Suppose you're loading 10 tables, you can load, but all from SQL Server, or all from Oracle, all from Excel. Understood? But what is the beauty of data set, You can load each table from a different data source. I'm loading 10 tables into data set, one from Oracle, one from SQL Server, one from Excel, one from Access, one from XML. Possibility is there. That is the beauty of the data set. Read the fourth point. You can load data from different data sources basically. Are you clear? You can load data from different data sources basically. That is the beauty of a data set compared with a data reader. Okay, now next to see. ADO.NET support two different architectures for data source communication. First one, second one. Until now, you worked with connection oriented. Read it. That's what I said. You put your bucket under the tap. Now open the tap, fill it, close it. The water is in the bucket now. Understood? Now open the connection, load the data, close it. The data is in the data set now. The data is in the data set now. You can start working with it. Okay. Now let's try to understand. We already understood how to work with the data readers now. Let's now understand how to work with data sets. How to work with data sets. Okay. See, listen. If this is a data source, guys, if this is a data source and I want to load some data into a data reader, I want to load some data into a data reader. If that is the case, in between these two, you have a command. In between these two, you have a command. The command interacts with the data source and loads data into data reader. That's what you've done. dr.execute reader. The execute reader method is talking to the database now, loading all the data, filling into data reader. Clear? Now, see the new one now. I have a data source and I want the data to be loaded into a data set. Into a data set. So if that is the case, guys, in between these two, we need a class called as DataAdapter. What is that? DataAdapter. Did you understand the difference in the two pictures? The two one? What is the difference? First one is unidirectional communication. Oh, focus on that. What is that? First one is unidirectional communication. Second one, bidirectional. In the first case, command will talk to data source and fills the data into data reader. Over. But in the second case, bidirectional communication is possible from two ways. Is it clear? Communication is possible from two ways. So what is it? Data can flow from data source to data set as well as data set to data source also. Communication is going to happen for you with the second architecture. Okay. Now tell me, in this, we learned about command first, data reader first. In the first one, we learned about the command first. We learned about the data reader first. We learned about the command first. And then under the command, we talked about a method called SqlDataAdapter, and that SqlDataAdapter fill the data into DataReader now. So we learned about command first. Same here also, we need to learn about the adapter first, not about the data set. Clear? What you are going to learn? Till now I explained you working with connection, working with command. I said you constructors, properties, methods. Same now. What do you need to understand? DataAdapter class. Again, the same story. You need to learn about the constructors, properties, methods, all these things we just require to understand. Okay, now? Fine. Actually, listen to this carefully. DataAdapter is a collection of 4 commands. It's a collection of 4 commands where each command is an instance of class command. Read the description carefully. What I mean is, what I'm trying to tell you now, I have a form. On a form, 4 buttons are there. Can I say form is a collection of buttons? Tell me, on a form I have 4 buttons. So what I'll say, form is a collection of 4 buttons. Correct now? Now in the same way I'm saying DataAdapter is a collection of 4 commands. Okay? Still, there are 4 buttons. Don't you remember? Each button is an instance of a class button. Every button is one instance now. That will I said, you see? Each command is an instance of class command. Just like we have a form with 4 buttons on it, we have a adapter with 4 commands in it now. Every day, you are creating 1 command in your code now, but this adapter internally has 4 commands in it. How many? 4 commands in it. Okay, and those are, what are the 4 commands, you know? Do you understand me or not? What is that, guys? It's a collection of 4 commands. What are the 4? Select command, insert command, update command, and delete command. Okay, what is that? Array, yesterday you created a command object. What is the name of that? CMD. Array, like they created 4 objects now. What are the name now? Select command, insert command, update command, delete command are the names. Understood or not? Okay, it's generally a collection of 4 commands. What are the names of the commands? Select command, insert command, update command, delete command. So to explain more about this data adapter, first understand a small thing. What is it? Guys, you got a job, you're working in a good company, you are getting a good package now, and you're married. And going forward, you plan to buy a house. You plan to buy a house now. Okay. So you are purchasing an apartment. So guys, remember, you're purchasing an apartment. You purchased an apartment now, a flat in an apartment. Now, if you just watch it, basically these flats, whatever you purchase, actually they come for you with a bare walls. That's all. Bare walls. Nothing will be there. You have the bathroom fittings, but nothing will be there in the wardrobes. Nothing. Bare walls, kitchen, everything you require to build it. Okay. And mainly, if at all you want to live in that house, you need 4 major things to be done. You need 4 major things to be done. What is that? First one. The first one is fall ceiling work. Fall ceiling work, because if you look here, these wires and all will be exposed outside. Generally, these wires and all, tomorrow you fit a street light, or wires will be exposed. Okay, and not only the beams, you get the beams in the middle, they look awkward, and no proper shape, they look awkward. That's why you see in every house today, you'll have a fall ceiling. So what the fall ceiling? It covers the beams first. It'll cover the beams first, and it won't expose any wires outside. Everything is concealed. Correct now? Second, you need carpentry work. You need to do the carpentry work, because no wardrobes, nothing, bare walls. You need carpentry work to be done. Third, electrical work. Electrical work, because the points what are given by the builder may not suit your requirements correctly. You say you need to put a TV here, but you may change the design. You want to put a TV in a different place now. So based on that, we need to also go for electrical work. And completing all these things, finally you're required to go for repainting the house. Because all these works happen, the house will be damaged now, and everything should be covered with a paint. You should go for repainting. So 4 major activities now. Watch it: fall ceiling, carpentry, and electrical, and painting. 4 works. And to do these 4 works, you engaged 4 different people. And each one has a separate team doing the work for you. The biggest mishap that happens here is miscommunication between all these people. Those people never work at a coordination at all. These people will never work with a coordination. Everyone will think my work is completed, I'll get away from this. But they don't look at the output. Means they don't look at how it looks. My work is completed, that's all. They don't work with the coordination. And becomes a big nuisance for you when the work is going on to sit there and coordinate between all the people. Are you getting me? Okay, it's a big nuisance here. You cannot focus on your office work, and you're required to stand here coordinating with them. This 3 months or 4 months, the work is happening inside. That becomes a big mess for us. That's why today, without all these headaches, everyone is going to a interior designers. Without talking with all these people, they are directly going with a interior designers. Okay, there are so many interior designer companies available. Have you heard this? Virat gives an ad for that also. Okay, Homeland Interiors. Virat Kohli and Anushka Sharma, they ad for that. Okay, Homeland, like so many companies are there. So what will they do? They come to your run, they see the complete structure, they take all the measurements. Now their team sits together and they will give a plan for this. What should be fit in which place? Okay, means they take your inputs. They take your inputs based on your inputs. They give a design. They give a design for you first. Okay, how the entrance is going to be look like. Okay, where the living room will be present. Okay, where the kitchen, where the dining will be present, and how the wardrobes will be facing, how your bed is going to face. Okay, in the bedroom, if you want a TV, where the TV will be placed, all the things they will completely design and show you in a 3D format. They'll show you a 3D image and they will quote you. This is the amount. You basically all bargainings, everything will happen. Finally, you fix with an amount. Okay. And your job is only to pay the money. You don't require to concentrate on any other things now. They will take care. They will take care. Okay. So that may be a bit expensive. That is expensive. But even though it is expensive, the first thing is you have a mental peace. You have a mental peace now. Or you don't require to stand there 24/7 watching what they're doing. Because the interior designer gives you the plan and he has to show the output to you. Then only you pay the money. Are you clearer? Okay. If you don't monitor correctly, the carpenter has fixed something somewhere and it doesn't look good now. It doesn't look good now. And the height is not correctly matched. And when you're roaming here and there, it will hit your head. The same problems will come. Okay, again we'll remove it. They're all double cost. But if you go to interior designer, the interior designer, because he's an engineer, plans perfectly all the things. If he's putting a wardrobe there in a walkway, what should be the height of the wardrobe? What height of wardrobe should be present? All this planning will be done perfectly. Are you getting me? They'll give you a perfect plan of all the appropriate things here and they start the work. So you have a mental peace and also the final output will be as shown in the 3D now. Okay, he is only responsible for everything. Clearer or not? Now see, exactly I'm relating the same thing to you. What is it? Basically, yesterday you have done select operation, insert operation, update operation. You've done all these things now. Delete operations, you've done all these things. And to do that, you're writing commands. For selecting one select command, for inserting one insert command, for updating one update command, for deleting one delete command. You're writing all these commands and doing it. Are you clear? So with one command, you're giving different statements and executing them on the database now. Okay, but what adapter is doing? Adapter has 4 commands. One command for doing a select operation, one command for doing a insert operation, one command for doing a update operation, one command for doing a delete operation. It maintains 4 commands. Now here, these 4 commands are like the 4 teams of people I said here. What is it? One is a electrical work, one is a carpentry work, one is a fall ceiling work, one is a painter. But I don't require to talk with this 4 here. I talk with only my interior designer. Here also, I don't talk with any of the command. I talk only with my DataAdapter. This adapter will manage all the 4 activities for you now. And you know what the beauty now? You don't require to write these commands at all. You need to write only one command. Which commands are? Select command. Are you getting me or not? You need to write only one command. Which command? Insert, update, delete are all taken care by the adapter. Insert, update, delete all are taken care by the adapter. You write the select command based on that. It will generate insert command. It will generate update command, generate to delete command. But remember here, yesterday you only written all these commands every time now. You keep on changing these commands. And one button selecting, one button inserting, one button updating, one button deleting. Like this, you written all the commands. But here you don't require to. You just require to write only one command, that is select command. Based on that, the remaining all commands will be generated for you by the adapter. And take care of all the 4 operations on behalf of you. Are you clear with an adapter? That is the beauty of the adapter. So remember, adapter is a collection of. So 4 commands you're telling which command? SQL commander, Oracle commander. That is also doubt will have. If your adapter is a ODBC adapter, then all the 4 commands are ODBC commands. If your adapter is a OLTP adapter, all are OLTP commands. If the adapter is a SQL adapter, SQL commands. That's all. Okay, now let me start with the constructors, guys. Constructors of command. Are you clearer or not? So let me start with the constructors of the command. So what are the constructors of the command? If you talk about the constructors of your particular command here, if you talk about the constructors, okay, so this class basically has 4 constructors here. This class has 4 constructors in it. What are 4 constructors? Say, first one, the default constructor. Second one, sorry, the next 3 are parameterized, right? 2 options only in our default parameterized, that's all. Parameters can vary. First one is default, second one is the remaining 3 are parameterized. What it takes? Second one takes a command as a parameter. What it takes? Command as a parameter. Third one takes a string and connection as a parameter. Guys, recollect, this is the same thing we used for a command in the previous examples. That only, what it takes? String and connection. String and connection. Fourth one is these are the 4. Let me focus on the third one first. This third one is exactly same as our command class, what we have used in the previous 2 examples. Sorry, the previous 2 days. How do you create a command? Command cmd is equals to new command. Then we passed an SQL statement, correct? SQL statement means select or insert or update or delete. But the difference you notice here, it's not command text, it is select command text. What is that, sir? You need to pass only select command. Just now I said you don't require to write all the commands. You need to write only one command. Which command? Over here, you can pass your select statement or a stored procedure which contains a select statement or a stored procedure which contains a select, but only select only, man. We don't have insert or update or delete here. Second parameter, the instance of the connection. The instance of the connection means, how do you write? Connection con is equals to new connection. And here you pass the connection string. Okay. Afterwards, command cmd is equals to new command. And here you write a command text. Correct now? What do you write? Command text. Maybe this can be a select or insert or update or delete. Correct now? But now replace command with DataAdapter. DataAdapter. And here, command text means basically this can be only select command text here, not everything. But command takes you anything, but adapter takes only select command text. Are you clear? That is the third constructor, man. Understood? Huh? So in this process, what are you doing in the first step? Louder. You are creating a connection object and passing to adapter and creating the object, adapter object. Correct now? See the fourth constructor, all of you. Look at the fourth constructor. What is fourth constructor? You know, in the fourth constructor, man, in the fourth constructor, without passing the connection object here, you can pass the connection string directly. What you can pass? Sir, what will happen? Adapter will create the connection object for you. Did you understand me or not? What will happen? Adapter will create the connection object for you. So I don't require a command create a connection, sir. No need. Who will do that? Adapter will do that. Are you getting me or not? Understood me? Look at the second constructor. What is the second constructor? In this, first step is you will create a command, man. You will create a command. And what are you passing? Just a minute. Just a minute. Concentrate on this. What is the first thing you're doing? Second, you've done this in the previous examples now. Third, look at the second construct for all of you. What is it taking? Which command? Now look, first step, second step. What command is it? Select command only now. Now you're passing it now. Are you clear? Now all the three are connected. First, connection connected to command, command connected to adapter. Based on that, it will generate you insert, update, delete for you automatically now. Are you clear? The simplified version of this is this one. You created a connection and adapter. Adapter will create the command for you. You create a connection and adapter. Adapter will create the command for you. Means, sir, I don't require to create the command. No, it will only create you select command also, insert command also, update command also, delete command. In the first case, you are creating the select. It is generating you insert, update, delete. But in the second case, it will learn all five now. Select, insert, update, delete. Okay. Third one is a skill simplified version here. No need to create the connection object also. Adapter will do all the things. What will it do, sir? First, it will create a connection object. Next, it will create your command object. And finally, adapter will link all these things together. So which one is simple now? Which one is simple? The third one is simple. I don't require to take the pain of creating a connection, command, and all the things. Directly, adapter will do everything for me now. Hope I am clear. Okay. And what about the first constructor? The first one is same as the second one, man. The first one is same as the second one. Only difference is you will be passing the value through property here. That's all. All four are same, guys. 1 and 2 are same. See here, you are passing in a separate statement. You're passing it as a constructor parameter. This is what I explained you with connection object and command object in the last class. So these two are same only. In this case, you are creating connection, you are creating command, and you are creating adapter. Second one, you are creating connection and adapter, adapter will create command. Last one, you are creating only adapter, adapter will create connection, adapter will create command. Everything will be created by the adapter and adapter only. What is created? Connection is created, command is also created. I'll show you practically all the appropriate things. All the four options I'll show you. So these are the constructors. Second, properties. Already listed you. What is it? Four properties are there. What are the four? These four are your properties now. Select command, insert command, update command, read command. You see, you're using it already here. Select command. Then methods. Sorry. Next, methods. There are two methods here, man. First method is fill. First method is fill. It takes two parameters. Positive data set and a string. Second one is update. It takes two parameters, data set and a string. Both are taking the same thing only, see? What is the difference, sir? The difference is that is the difference. Can you understand? Understood or not? What is happening in the first case? The data is flowing from data source to data set. Second one means nothing here. In between this, what you do, you will update the data now. You filled, man, all the data came in the data set. You're modifying now. Now you call update. All the changes will go back to the database. Okay, I'll tell you how it works. Watch it carefully. See all the four constructors, how to use them. All four. Okay, next methods. Now first let me tell you how will the fill method work. Okay, look at this picture, all of you. This is a database and it has a table. And this is my data set. MTC. From this table, I want the data to load into. Open the mouth. What I want to do? From the table, I want to load the data into. Then I need an adapter in the middle now. I need an adapter in the middle. And this adapter contains a. Yeah, when you're creating adapter, what I said you, select command should be passed there now. Well, now I called a fill method. I called a fill method. Now this fill method will do 3 actions for us. Action number 1. Adapter will open a connection with the database. Concentrate, all of you. Adapter will open a connection to the database. Open now. After opening the connection, it will execute the select command on the database. It will execute the select command on the database. Guys, if you execute a select statement on a database, what will happen? Data is fetched now. The data that is fetched will be filled into data set. The data that is fetched is filled into set. Third step closes the connection. So what I'm trying to tell you now, yesterday and day before yesterday in your all examples, did you call con.open, con.close? We are not going to do this anymore now. Why, sir? Fill method will open the connection. Fill method will close the connection. You don't require to call con.open. You don't require to call con.close. And both these two are integrated into fill method. When you call fill method, connection opens, connection closes. See, you called load EMP. Array, don't you remember? Load EMP will open the connection. Load EMP will close the connection also. Not only fill method is opening the connection, fill method is closing the connection. And once the fill method execution is completed, end of the execution now, all your data is loaded into the data set. How many records are there? 4 records. Now, what you can do, you can view the data. Array, you can view the data. Second, you can add new records. You can add new records. Why? Already said you it's updatable. It is. You can modify existing records. You can delete existing records. You can do all this stuff like adding, deleting, modifying, or editing. Anything can be done. Okay. Imagine you have done some changes on this data now. You have done some changes on the data. And after doing all the changes, this is how your data set is now. Look at the data and now read the color description on the other side. What is black? Means what is it? You did not modify that. What is loaded from database present as it is only? Blue color. You updated the second record now. You updated the second record. You have 4 records now. First one you did not touch. The second one is updated. Third one is deleted. Fourth one you did not do. 5 and 6. Means now you understand now. I made some changes. What changes I done? I added 2 records. 4 plus 2, 6. I modified 1 record. Means 6 only. I deleted 1 record. Means 5. Correct? Huh? Now, when I made the changes, I made all my changes in the data set. And now my plan is all these changes should be affected on the database. All these changes should be affected on the database. Then I should call my second method now. What is the second method? Update. When I call the update method, guys, look, now your adapter has all commands. Initially, it has only one command. Why fill needs only one? Update requires all four now. Sorry, update requires three. Select is already there here. Update requires three. It generated the three for you now. I did not write this. I don't write this. It will generate them for me. It will generate them. So all three commands are generated. See how many commands are there? Four commands. Now I call update. Again, three steps. First step, connection is reopened. Already connection is closed earlier, na? Connection is reopened. Now, what it will do, it will pick all, listen here, it will pick all the inserted records. It will pick all the inserted records and inserts them into the table using insert command. Got it? Initially, how many records are there in the database? Four. Four are loaded. Now you add it now. Now these two are inserted in the database now. Now tell me how many records are there in the database? Six. Correct? It will pick the modified record and updates them on the database now. Using update command, it will pick the modified record and updates on the database using update command. How many records are there? Six only. Now it will pick the deleted record and deletes it on the database table using delete command. How many records are there? Five. Are you clear? Now how many records are there in the database? Five. But your data set has six. Yes or not? Once this is completed, the data in the data set is completely cleared and a fresh copy comes back now. What comes back? How many records? Five, and connection closes. Connection closes. Now tell me how many records are there? All are in which state? Unchanged. Nah. What is that? You fresh copy loaded. Nah. Earlier, over that is completed. Instruction updation completed. Fresh copy loaded. Everything will be in unchanged state. Watch it. This is the end. After update method execution, how many records are there? Five, and all are unchanged state. Again, you can start a new transaction again. Again, you will start a new once over. Once I save it, that is completed. Again, first copy loaded. Again, start your changes. Again, you can update and you can do all this stuff. So did you understand about the fill and the update methods? See the four pictures carefully. First, empty data set, database table with a command with select statement. Connection open, select statement executes, data loaded, connection closed. So in the end of the method execution, all the data loaded. Now what can I do? I can modify the data, adding, deleting, updating, everything. After doing all the things, this is how your data set is. Now I will call. Now I want these changes to be sent back to database. Then which method I should call? Update. If you want to call update, you need three more commands now. Adapter will generate them for you. Adapter will generate them for you. So first, it will reopen the connection. All the changes done on the data set will be pumped to database by using insert, update, and delete commands. Once everything is completed, it will delete everything from the data set, and a fresh copy of the data is loaded into the data set from the database, and connection will close. Once connection closed off, again, there is a new transaction going to be started with all unchanged records in the table. Are you clear? Understood or not? Read what will fill method do. Closes the connection. Okay. So this is starting. Read this. Okay, now next paragraph. Is going to do the following activities now. What is the first thing? Second, Insert, update, delete commands are used. Last, closes the connection. See, unchanged rows. Understood or not? Okay, so this is about a data set. This is how it works. Shall we try this now? We'll try. And explaining about data sets, I already thought about these data sets here. We can load data into data set from XML files also. For that, we don't require all these things. There I said you a direct method called read XML. Read XML. For the read XML, if you pass the path of the XML file, all the data is loaded up. But when you're working with the databases, you need to do all the things what I explained. You means adapter is required. For loading from file, adapter is not required. Directly read XML method of the dataset will do. But if you want to load from database, then compulsory what you require? Adapter is required for interacting between the two. Okay. Say, I have data in a file. Directly call data loads into dataset. Understood or not? Now I have data in a database. And what I need? Call the data loads into dataset. Understood? Without adapter, you cannot load a data from database to dataset. But from file, nothing you require. Directly you call the read XML, it will load up the data. Okay. Now, next. Okay, come on, let me show you. Let me add a web form. I'm naming this web form as yeah. I want to design the form like this. Are you clear? I want to design the form like this. And to work with this, I want a new table here. We have two tables already, department and employee. I want a new table called customer table with the 5 columns in the table. What are the 5? Customer ID, customer name, balance, city, status. Understood? Let me create this table. Let me create this table. So let us go to SQL Server. What's your database? Okay. Open a new query and choose your database here and create a table. I given the script file for creating the table. I given the script code for creating the table. Just use it and create the table. Verify, guys. What is this column? It's a primary key. It is a primary key. No duplicates, no null values. I did not use auto generation. I did not use auto generation. Next, name, balance, city, status. Remember, guys, the status I explained you when I explained about the customer properties. On that day, said about the status active and inactive. And default value is 1. That means Boolean. Bit is Boolean. 1 is true. 0 is false. In SQL Server, bool is called as bit. Okay. So this is what. So I'm creating the table. No, 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 not that. Not that, not about that. I want some data in the table here. I created an ASPDB only. There is no data now. Okay, do one thing. You insert some records into the table. Okay. Well, I got some records in my table. I copied here. I copied from one table to another table. That's it. And the table is present in another database. I copied from there. That's all. Where is it present? From here, I copied the data into my table. That's it. Nothing more than that. Yeah, guys. I have some 10 records in the table now with the different status values. Is it clear? Now, what is my requirement is I want to load the data from this table. I want to load the data from this table, store it in a session, and then I want to display the data in my text boxes. I want to display the first record the first time. And the click of the next button, it has to take me to next record. Previous button should take me to previous record. Last button should take you to last record. And first button should take you to first record. Is that clear or not? This is what exactly my plan is. If I use a data reader here, do you know what is the problem? Not about forward. Two problems are there. One is only forward. You can go to next record only. You can go only to next record. You cannot go to previous records. First drawback. Second drawback. Data reader is connection oriented now. First time when I open it, a connection is opened and data is loaded. And you know the processing of a web page, once the output comes onto the browser, everything is destroyed on the server now. Connection object is destroyed. Command object is destroyed. Are you clear? But I planned for storing the data reader in a session now so that I can use it in the next time. But once connection object is destroyed, data reader cannot hold the data. Did you understand me or not? See, where is the data in a data reader? Earlier, remember here, we stored data in a dictionary, stored in a session, used in the next page, remember? Same way, now where is the data stored? Data is stored in a data reader. I want to store this data reader in a session and use in the next page now. But if you want to store the data in a data reader, if the connection is kept open only, the data reader will work now. But once my output is generated to browser, connection will be closed automatically. And once connection is closed, data reader will lose all the information. Is my point clear or not? but I can do this with a data set. What is it? First time, open the connection, load the data into data set, close your connection. Where is the data? In the data set. Store it in a session and use it for any number of times without reconnecting to the database. Are you clear? Store it in a session and use it for any number of times without reconnecting to a database, because data set is capable of holding the data even after closing the connection. So can I store it in a session now? Possible. Okay, watch the code. Let me take you here using. You're required to input one more namespace, guys, now. Why, sir? Dataset class is present in system.data namespace. Which one? System.data. So that's why I'm importing system.data also, system.data.dataset also. Okay, well, I'll show you all 4 constructors of DataAdapter to you. Watch. 4 constructors I thought, all 4 I'm showing you. Watch carefully. First one. SQL connection con is equals to new SQL connection. Write the connections thing. Data source is server. Password is 123. Second, select customer ID, name, balance, city, status. Are the columns now? Yes. Customer ID, name, balance, city, status. From comma. We learned all these things yesterday. Yes or not? But what is new now? The new one now is I am bringing a adapter into action now. Data SQL data adapter DA is equals to new SQL data. Pass the CMD. Guys, observe the link between all the 3 now. First, the connection object is created. Second, command object is created and connection is bound to it. Third, adapter object is created and adapter object command is bound. Now see, all 3 are connected now. Connection is connected to command. Command is connected to adapter. So all 3 connected. Okay. Next. Created a data set. Is it empty or not? Empty. Nothing is there now. It's empty. DA dot fill. Fill. DS comma. What is the table name? What is DS? Right, is the name of the object where the data should be loaded. Empty data set. So once the fill method execution is completed, this data set will contain data in it now. Shall I show you? Watch it. Actually, data set will hold you data in the form of tables. Data set will hold you data in the form of tables. Observe this, all of you. Response.write table count before fill. Table count before fill. Before fill, I want to find out the table count. How do you find ds dot ds dot tables dot simple English, man, tables in the data set now. Okay, fine. I'm also adding a break here. Copy the same, paste it below. After count. Check yourself. Loaded or not? Yeah, data is loaded now. Before count it is 0. After count it is 1. Okay, one more thing I'll show you. What is the connection state before fill? Any guess? What is the connection state before fill? Open or closed? Louder. Closed. Why open? Fill will open. Who will open? Why you are telling fill? Where I called fill? I did not call open anywhere. Na. Who will open? I said. So before fill, what is the state? Closed. Now, can you guess the connection state after fill? Closed. Why? Fill will close also. So what I'm proving, right, disconnected. Yeah, that's what I'm proving you. It is disconnected article. So check it out. Number of tables are 0. Connection state is closed. After fill also connection state is closed, but tables are 1. That is a clear proof to you. What is it? It is a disconnected architecture. Connection closed, but telling you one table is there still. Am I clearer or not? Connection is closed, but still there is one table. That's what I'm telling you. It's a disconnected architecture. What happened? The connection is opened. Data is filled. Connection is closed. That's why data is there. Are you clear? You're putting the bucket under the tap now, opening the tap, filling, closing. Are you clear? So do I have water in the bucket? Yes. Is the tap open? No. Tap is closed, but the bucket has water. Clear? Okay. Now just observe it. Coming back, I will remove all this response statement. Just coming back. Look at the 3 guys. First step. Second. This is a second constructor, correct now? What is the first constructor? Without passing this here, you can write a separate statement. DA dot select command is equals to CMD. Observe it. You will get the same output now also. First constructor. This is the first constructor. Second one I will be showing you. Third one. What is the third one? Third constructor, you don't require to create a command object, guys. You don't require to create a command object. What you do, in place of the command, you can directly create a adapter object. Look, all of you, I am replacing the command with data adapter, and I'm deleting the last. There is no command, see. Still it works. Sir, how, sir? Adapter creates the command for you. Adapter creates the command for you. Working, see. Okay, now 3 lines of code became 2 lines now. Okay, another thing. You don't even require to use the connection object also there. Without the connection object, for the connection, you pass the connection string now. Copy the connection string, all of you. Copy the connection string. Copy. And replace it here in the place of con. Are you clear? Replace it here in the place of con. Okay. And delete of the connection object. Alright, because connection object is deleted, on dot state will give you error now. After fill 1 means which is indication for you fill is working. Fill is working means connection is there. Do you understand me? Yeah, guys, this is the code. I'll remove all the things. That's all. Create a adapter. Pass a select statement. Pass the connection string. Create an empty data set and call fill method. Fill method will open the connection. Fill method will close the connection. In between open and close, it will fill the data. The name itself is telling fill the data. It is filling the data. Where is it filling the data? into the given data set. It is filling the data. So once the full execution is completed, where is your data? Inside the data set. Are you clear? I removed all the unwanted lines of code now. It is quite clear and simple. Adapter, two parameters. First parameter, select statement. Second parameter, connection step. Second, created one empty data set. Third, call the fill method. Where is your data now? Data set. Okay. When I'm explaining about data reader, I explained you how to access data in a data reader, remember? Well, explaining data reader day before yesterday, I explained you how to access data from a data reader. Body present and mind absent. I showed you a picture for you. The pointer will be on the first, before first, all these things. When you put blank pages, but I'm telling you first time, this only happened. I explained all these things to you. How do you access the data from a data reader with some set of methods, properties, and all? Right? Now we need to understand how to access data from data set. How to access data from data set. I'll tell you. But where is the data now? It is in the data set. Clear? So read the complete notes carefully first about adapter, constructors, properties, methods, and the 4 pictures I shown you how it works. Clear? Next class I'll teach you how to access the data, and then I will show you record by record. So one thing I've proven you today already. What is it? It is disconnected. Are you clear? Yes or not? Okay. So in the next level, I'm going to show you it is scrollable. It is scrollable. You can navigate to next records, previous records, anywhere you can navigate between your data set. Possible. I'll show you in the next session. Let's stop here. We'll meet on Monday.